Okay. We got a medic up. Portugal medic. How is everyone today? How is everyone today? Ooh, we've got Censored with Johnny, Marty, and Lee playing. We will be doing Censored with Johnny, Marty, and Lee after we get done with our news and the U-boob. Let's see here. I need to come over here, switch account. I need that account. I need to go in here and studio. Folks, I'm sorry, but we're late today on this. I have had one of the worst headaches that I think I've ever had right between my eyeballs. Right between my eyeballs. Ugh, it just is awful. Absolutely awful. Hey, Collipop. Remember, folks, tomorrow we are going to have our roundtable. So be aware. It's going to be between noon and about 1:30 is when I'm going to start it. Folks, we really could use some coffee over here on the coffee club. I don't know what we're going to do if we can't get some coffee and some more members. I make nothing off of Rumble. And currently we have nothing coming in from YouTube. So we need your all's help, folks, to be able to keep on doing this. And I don't know what I'm going to do if we can't get this to work. I went and picked beans yesterday and sit down on the floor and broke them. And my knee swelled up double last night. My ankles is absolutely throbbing off of me today. But y'all watched whenever I was with Lee in the van and saw how I got around. Terrible, folks. But yeah, we need your all's help. $5 a month. $5 a month. Go over there, sign up, become a member, get access to our Discord and our roundtables. Like I said, folks, it's just $5 a month. I've got some decent news for you all today. I'm kind of just waiting until some people gets in here. I need to share this out. On Discord. I'll call. Okay, it has been sent out on the All Call channel. I'm going to be posting it to Rumble. Not Rumble, but to Twitter. Post. Let's get back over here to this. Okay. Yeah, Japan had a 7.1. They've got massive issues over there in Japan. They've got bridges that fell apart, landslides, all kinds of stuff, Christy. I mean, sitting bear. Christy, they have announced that the meetings have ended between Zelensky and BB and Trump, and the meetings went good, and it was very productive. Y'all, please share all this out on your social media. Look at the helicopter, folks. You see it? They're doing training back here today. Let me pull this up. Where did that go to? There it is. Where did it go to? I hear it still. I don't see it. But yeah, they're doing training today. I guess it's the National Guard. A lot of flights in and out. Trump has announced they're going to plan to delay the provision of $400 million in aid to Ukraine until 2029. Although the Pentagon has submitted the spending plan to lawmakers, the funds have not yet been allocated or committed, despite the aid having been approved last year by lawmakers from both parties have criticized the Department of Defense for the sluggish response. New reporting has revealed that Meta Corporation, has cut a secret deal with Louisiana Republicans to build a $50 billion data center The data center will consume 7 times as much electric as the city of New Orleans does. Also, there was a mall that has collapsed in Japan, and dozens are feared to be trapped in it. Iran says the Strait of Hormuz will never return to the pre-war state, and that no ceasefire or resumption of war will change that. Iran's deputy foreign minister says the strait is part of Iran's national security and is a defensive capability for Iran. It is the new nuclear weapon for us, he says. He also warns any European ship and warship approaching the Strait of Hormuz is a legitimate target from now on by Iran. Ukraine modern channels detect that Iran is going to launch medium-range ballistic missile attack on Ukraine in the next 24 hours. So it looks like Iran is going to attack Ukraine. Man, it's windy today. We're under a severe thunderstorm watch here. Also, y'all, keep an eye on the RC channel. We will be putting some content up. I have finally got it all fixed. I finally got everything fixed in the RC channel. So keep an eye out for that. I will be putting some content up here soon. We're going to dig a bunch of potatoes with it. Trump on Iran. I'm going to play this over here on a separate screen. It's Trump talking on the telephone. Also, a reporter asked Trump, what are your plans for affordability? Housing affordability bill. Trump says, I don't know. It's so unimportant. Just also, before I get over to what Trump says, U.S. Senate has moved forward with tough new sanctions on Russia. U.S. senators have agreed on a bill imposing new sanctions on Russia and Iran. That legislation will allow Trump to impose tariffs of up to 500% on Russian goods, as well as additional 100% on countries that continue buying Russian energy sources, like China. Well, a lot of Europe buys Russian energy. But yep, he's going to be able to impose 100% tariff, additional 100% tariff, on countries that continue buying Russian energy resources, and a 500% tariff on Russian goods. The Senate looks to be going to pass the bill as early as this week. But it's not expected to take effect before September. So I want you to listen to this a second. This is Trump on the phone today.
Up the job, as some people would like, with the bridges, with the very easy. I could take out most of their bridges in less than an hour. Less than an hour. But, you know, it takes them 10 years to build a bridge. Bridges take the longest. And
they don't take 10 years to build a bridge.
Knock out the power plants. Within one day, all of their power plants would be gone. And I let them know that, with negotiations. I said, look, people want me to do that. I think I get almost the same thing out of it as doing it. But the problem is they'll never be able to, I think about 91 million people without power, without bridges, would have to live. And it's a very, very delicate balance. Yeah. So I think we have a very strong position right now. They know I'm going to do that if they don't make a deal. The bridges are going to.
Folks, Iran has no intentions on making a deal. If Iran had intentions on making a deal, Iran would have already made a deal. Now, what's your thoughts on that? If Iran had intentions on making a deal, Iran would have already made a deal. Oh, dropped it. Do you agree with what I'm saying? If Iran had intentions on making a deal, they would have already made a deal. But since Iran has no intentions on making a deal, Iran is not going to make a deal. So, how is everyone today on the YouTube world and the Rumble world? Also, I don't know where he got this. It takes them 10 years to build a bridge thing, but it doesn't take 10 years to build a bridge. White House says that during Trump's meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky today, it was agreed upon that Welknoff and Kushner will now make a visit to Kyiv, Ukraine, for the first time ever in the spirit of diplomacy and trying to end the Russia-Ukrainian war. A date and time is going to be set soon. The plan is to get them to Kyiv within the next 2 weeks. This was my suggestion to the White House earlier. This is from Laura Loomer. She has done a complete flip-flop. I don't know if you all have noticed that. But Welknoff and Kushner, hopefully they will go over to Ukraine and come back with a totally different stance. Also, I don't know if you noticed or not, Tim Pool, one of the ones that was getting hundreds of thousands of dollars from TNet Media Group, which was getting funded by Russia, has done a complete 180 also. He is now in favor of Ukraine. Imagine that. I'm trying to find it here. Amazing when the Russian money dries up, how people change their stance. 2 years ago, Tim Pool said literally, Ukraine is one of the greatest enemies of our nation. We should pull out all military support and we should apologize to Russia. Then it was revealed that a company associated with him had been paid by Moscow. That would be TNet Media. And then Tim Pool just posted this the other day. Ukraine has been fighting for their very assistance against an evil dictator. I see now the importance of Ukrainian victory against Russia. I hope Trump and the United States will lend their support. Yeah, Christie. That. Yeah, I can see that. Yep, Gray Fawn. They that one tunnel that got hit. They had it back in operation within 12 hours. Oh, we've had a 5.4 earthquake over there in around Tonga. Remember that big big volcano, underwater volcano that erupted a couple years back that sent a gob, well, a massive amount of water vapor into our atmosphere. Leaked documents has revealed the Trump administration is seeking to remove regulations on the nuclear waste storage, allowing high-level radioactive waste now to be deposited in other states other than Nevada. Yippee. Where is everybody at? Only 10. Also, if you will look at the maps here a second, Magma 10 is in the Black Sea, having a little look-see around. Very odd hour. It left out of Italy, flew up here, and has took a look at the Russians. It turned off its transponder, it always does. It has took a little look at the Ruskins. I don't know if it's went up into here. It might have. It was concerned about something to be up at this hour. Ooh, Cobra has been up too. Well, I guess it was a transit flight. An AWACS. Not much up in Europe right now compared to what has been up. Now, you see this right in here? It's a tanker. And that tanker is more than likely supporting transit operations. Fighters are it's either coming from the Middle East to the United Kingdom or somewhere else, or they're coming to the Middle East. So, yeah. Yeah, folks, we really need your all's help to be able to keep on doing this. Go there and get us a coffee. If you don't care, the link is pinned in chat. We can really use some coffee, folks. We're scraping pennies together, trying to be able to keep everything operating. A 25-year-old U.S. citizen has been deported to Mexico by ICE after a traffic stop in Texas. His attorney says he had a U.S. birth certificate, social security card, and hospital records proving his citizenship, but agents refused to review them and deported him. Huh. He was born in Denver, Colorado, and holds a U.S. birth certificate, social security card, and hospital records to prove it. Goodness gracious. Also, in January, a 5-year-old U.S. citizen vanished from Texas. It was what followed was not a paperwork error or a misunderstanding. It was a quiet, accelerated deportation carried out behind closed doors, shielded from public view, legal intervention, and even basic child welfare standards. By the time anyone outside the government understood what was happening, the child was already in Honduras. Wow. Here is a link to that if you all want to check that out. That is the article on the 5-year old. And here is the link to where the 25-year-old U.S. citizen that had a U.S. birth certificate, social security card, and hospital records proving he was a U.S. citizenship was deported. Okay, I am going to let my helper help me out on this one. Let's see here. This is what's going on with the oil markets and why the oil markets are so disconnected from what's actually going on in the real world.
For anyone watching oil, please read this. Here's the game Trump is playing right now. The immediate goal of this administration is to suppress oil through the paper market, media-coordinated headlines, selective leaks, diplomatic signaling and constant jawboning. Then let algos, CTAs and forced long liquidation amplify the move. All they need is to keep the market believing that Hormuz flows are about to restart, even while physical traffic remains severely depressed. Then get an MO or some kind of temporary pause in place, move a few tankers through, declare the route reopened and quietly fix the actual mess behind the curtain. This is literally the same move they keep pulling throughout this conflict. Manipulate expectations as hard as possible, protect the surface narrative and buy time while scrambling to patch the underlying dogshit situation. So understand that a bet on triple-digit oil is not a pure bet on fundamentals. It's also a bet that the Trump administration loses control of the optics, headlines and narrative warfare before it can restore the actual barrels. #ut #realpolitik.
Well, there you have it, folks. Kind of what I've been saying. It's been artificially kept down. Hey, we all know that Ukrainian monitoring channels are saying that Iran is going to launch an attack on Ukraine within the next 24 hours. If Iranian missiles are launched, they will reach Kyiv in approximately 15 to 25 minutes. Kharkiv, Dnipro, and Odessa in 12 to 20 minutes, and Lviv in 18 to 30 minutes. No, I'm not either, Anthony. And I'm not a fan of censorship either. Only 9 people in here. Wow. This supply loss, I'm going to let my helper here a minute. help me on this one too, because I've still got a headache.
This supply loss would on its own would rank as the second biggest oil supply disruption in history, only surpassed by a Hormuz closure. 1. Hormuz closure. Approximately 14 mbpd.
Oh
2.
wow, that the
Houthi
damage in
attack on
Japan, folks.
Aramco. 5.7 mbpd. 3. Iranian Revolution. Approximately 5.6 mbpd. 4. Arab oil embargo. Approximately 4.5 mbpd. In other words, we have the biggest and second biggest oil supply events hitting simultaneously. At the same time, Ukraine is disrupting Black Sea supplies, and the Houthis are disrupting Bab el-Mandeb. And again, oil is down hard on the day, you can't make this up.
Folks, you check out that link that I just posted. Goodness gracious. It has literally buckled the roads. That building right there is completely, both of them buildings, or all three of them, will have to be demolished. That ground rose 3 or 4 feet. Goodness. There's a 3 to 4 feet uprise right there. Them buildings on the other side there too will have to be demolished. Yeah, that's definitely 4 feet ish, if not more, uprise in the ground. Goodness. Donald Trump says, I'm allowed to cut off any and all trade. I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm allowed to destroy the country. But I can't change a little fee?
2-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot.
Wow. Donald Trump, this was yesterday, said gas prices are not high. He also has told reporters that inflation is fake. Interesting. So inflation is fake and the gas prices are not high. Don't believe your own eyes. Yemen says it has targeted a Saudi tanker in the Red Sea. This is the fourth Saudi tanker that has been targeted in less than a week since Yemen announced its blockade on all Saudi ports in the Red Sea. We've got cars trapped in floodwaters in Clearfield County, Pennsylvania right now as severe thunderstorms and flash flooding explode from New York to Virginia. Yeah, there's a lot of damage in Japan, folks. A lot of damage in Japan. We've got train cars off of the rails. We got stuff on fire, there is a link to it, that video.
Oh, I think absolutely it's a great express. Look, he's brought all these wars to an end, 8 wars in there, and he's protecting our country from being nuked.
What were the 8 wars he stopped?
I don't know them all offhand, but he stopped them over.
Do you know? Can you name a couple?
No.
Yeah, what were the wars that he stopped?
Other countries,
Chick. Well, I'm gonna save this for Rumble here in a few. But a reporter has asked some Trump supporters here, and they said President Trump is the greatest president of all time. He stopped 8 wars. Reporter asked him, "Can you name one?" Nobody could name them. Wow.
It broke down in the middle of. I don't think Ford realizes how rough it is out here.
Ford has remotely shut off this brand new Bronco on a busy expressway over one late payment. Now take this with a grain of salt. Guys out here with his new Bronco that has 3,000 miles on it, Ford just shut the engine off while he's 60 mile an hour in traffic. He's standing on the side of the road, trucks and cars whipping past, saying he could get unalived and that Ford has no idea how rough it is out here. Interesting. Now, if this is true that Ford shut this off, there's a link to the video.
Doing my best.
Ford should not be able to shut
I could be killed.
vehicles off like this. I can see if you was to go park it somewhere and then get back in it to start it. But shutting it off going down the road, this should be illegal. And I don't know why in the world anybody would want to buy these new vehicles, to be honest with you. All they are is a giant tracking platform.
Jackie Robinson. Before he stepped onto Ebbets Field, he wore the uniform of the United States Army. He broke Major League Baseball's color barrier in 1947. I guess.
I'm looking here, folks. Now, here is a little video of China staging the flood response for photo ops. They didn't go to the actual area. There's a link to this. They took trash cans of water and dumped down into a little fake sandbag area they had built for a photo op like they was helping. Yeah, Pam, that's what I'm kind of wondering. That's the reason why I said take it as a grain of salt. And if they are doing stuff like that, something needs done about it. This is what we got into the other day, saying that how China is not using any of its stockpiles to help with these flooding. It's almost like they are saving all their stockpiles for a war that's coming up. Now, the military has been got deployed to some of these areas, and they took some photos and left. Civilians on the ground says they have yet to see any response to help with the flooding. The locals are cleaning everything up. So if you was preparing for a big war over Taiwan and major flooding has hit your country over and over and over again in some areas in the last couple of weeks, you wouldn't waste your stockpiles of provisions and um, equipment to go out and help. You would send some little batches out, get some photos, and come back. So this tells me that we're getting close to this.
Going south on the river. Here, security footage from a home along the Fox River shows the pontoon allegedly driven by Richard Stevenson Saturday afternoon. Family who shared this video says their cameras captured the pontoon going south on the river. Video shows Stevenson and entering a no-wake zone drive found Stevenson, who was ultimately taken to the hospital, where a witness on Riverside Drive, her husband, was taken to the hospital. Prosecutors say the pontoon wrecked onto the bank, where a witness on Riverside Drive found Stevenson, who was...
Goodness gracious. A DUI on a boat has ended with somebody unalive after he's drove through a no-wake zone and crashed into another boat and crashed his boat. Yeah, Pam, I do not know where everybody's at. And for the people who's just now joining us, if you have not moved your membership over to Coffee Club and you are in Discord, I need you all to please get your membership moved over to Coffee Club. And if you can, go over and get us some coffee. I don't know what we're going to do because of what YouTube done to us on the old channel. I've lost everything, folks. Everything we had coming in is gone. Goodness gracious. The video coming out of Japan. Check this out. This is at a Costco in Japan. Trump's trade representative has been fact-checked live on Fox News after claiming Trump stabilized the manufacturing employment, as a graph next to him shows Trump losing 113,000 manufacturing jobs. Ooh. Here's video at the explosion at the mall. I don't know why it would have exploded in Japan. Check that out. Goodness gracious, with the video coming out of Japan. Here's more areas of the road. It's just completely buckled. Goodness. Hey folks, I think that's going to do it for the YouTube for today. I know I said we was going to stay live, but I want to get over here to Rumble and show you all of these videos coming out of Japan. So I am going to end the YouTube stream. So for the ones over here on YouTube, please get moved over to Rumble. Here's links to Rumble. Moved over there. We will see you on Rumble, folks.